Good evening. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session? Motion. Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. All in favor? Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 9th Board of Education meeting. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. We did want to inform the public that this evening Ms. Reum, the district clerk, is working remotely, and Mr. Parrish is here as assistants assisting her.
We can move on to public comments on agenda items.
Good evening. My name is Greg Fisher from Calverton. I'm going to talk about agenda item C briefly, and I'm going to ask that one of you has the courage to table this item until the next meeting. I'm currently working with several teachers on Long Island that are similarly situated, like Mr. Keith McGuire, in refusing to wear masks. Now, the science was unclear earlier, but it's clearer and clearer all the time. And I have to tell the truth, I was not on this issue till recently, that the masks did absolutely nothing in the pandemic, that their order to wear them was completely and utterly, scientifically, arbitrary and capricious. No basis in fact whatsoever. That includes my consultations with environmental and safety engineers with up to 45 years experience, showing that if you actually nail these things to a piece of wood and use hot glue, they prevent nothing.
Mr. Fisher, if I may, I would prefer if you didn't name individual names.
Too late.
Well,
but in this, I know there was a hearing. Mr. McGuire shared this with me, and he's the one. So, yes, he taught my kids, and he seems to be a good teacher, but I would ask that this item be taken off. It's only going to cost the school district a lawsuit.
So I'm sorry, District's Counsel, Mr. Fisher, if we could just avoid naming individual personnel when commenting on public agenda items. It's district policy not to discuss individual personnel matters or to accept or solicit comment on those at a public meeting.
Okay, so
personnel matters are confidential.
I did not ask you what his name was, and let me put you in your place on the law. You're bound by that. I'm not bound by that. That's correct, Counselor, isn't it? I'm not bound by it. So I appreciate you not wasting my time because the clock is running. If you want the clock to run on you, why don't you do that? But this is going to cost the district and the taxpayers lawsuit money and possibly punitive damages because the whole state was off the rails, and now you guys are about to follow off the rails. Now, you can not comment. You have that right. But to the degree that you do comment, I will comment back, and I hope you had a chance to taste it right now. Because I'm going to assist these other teachers and Mr. McGuire in their lawsuits. Now, I've now been successful in proving a lot of this psychosis that we've had to suffer through over the last 2 years is not scientific. So if you want to give your time to the district for free, and your firm wants to give the time to the district for free, you're free to talk and instigate as much litigation as you want. But quite frankly, anything you say is just going to be incendiary and wasting of taxpayer money, which is also what's going to come out of this Mr. McGuire situation. It'll be a Ketam suit and wasting of taxpayer money.
Mr. Fisher, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't yell at us or raise your voice. Thank you very much.
And I'd appreciate it if you followed science and not what you think to be science.
That's your opinion. You're entitled to that. I'm asking you not to yell at the board or not to yell at everybody in this room.
No, you're trying to control me.
I'm not trying to control you
Which is
at
what you've been
all.
trying to do to students and teachers, and what you tried to do to Mr. McGuire by sanctioning him on something that was not scientifically
As
accurate.
board president, my job is to control the meeting, right? To make it go smoothly, right? Correct? So you yelling and raising your voice kind of creates havoc. Yes?
Okay.
Is that your intention? Is that your intention?
That's an ad hominem kill the messenger game.
No, you can speak all you want. You can say
No,
whatever
I
you
can't
want.
speak all I want because you're censoring
I'm
me
asking
now.
you not to yell, sir. That's all I'm doing. That's all
I
I'm
have a
asking. You have to raise your
microphone here.
voice.
You have the microphone. I'm not yelling. I'm scaring you, and you should be scared.
You're not scaring me, sir.
Okay. Then why are you responding?
Because I'm asking you to be polite.
I am being
Not
polite.
disrespectful.
I'm telling you, you're breaking the law.
reminding you of the policy.
You don't want to hear it. You are. There's nothing in that charge about Mr. McGuire that's legal. It's arbitrary and capricious. Argue with me all you want. You're arguing with the wrong guy. Fix your rules. Thank you for your time.
Is there anyone else on wants to speak about consent agenda? Seeing there isn't. Ronnie, do we have any? Okay. We're now going to move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Torrentori.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. First, we would like to begin with our student recognition for the Seal of Biliteracy. Is Dr. Casamassa? If you could please come up. We are very excited to be sharing this wonderful achievement with our students. Thank you.
So first I'll just explain a little bit about the Seal of Biliteracy, talk about both of our students, and then present them with their awards, which we are very excited about. So the New York State Seal of Biliteracy is an award that formally recognizes students who have attained a high level of proficiency in 2 or more world languages, one of which must be English. The New York State Seal of Biliteracy recognizes the importance of being bilingual in today's global society. This award highlights the hard work and achievement of students. Students receiving the New York State Seal of Biliteracy must complete all the requirements for graduating with the New York State Regents Diploma and demonstrate proficiency in English and a world language. The criteria that Tamara and Monica completed included grades in the 90s in their ELA courses, scores of 3 and 5 on advanced placement exams, and digital portfolios that demonstrated their proficiency in reading, writing, speaking, and listening in both languages. And in addition to the importance of this award for our students, the New York State Seal of Biliteracy also has a positive impact on the accountability score for our district. So before I present the medallions, I'm going to speak briefly about each student. Tamara Meneses will be attending Suffolk County Community College for 1 year, and then is planning to transfer to John Jay College of Criminal Justice to pursue a career as a crime analyst. She is very interested in forensic science and true crime cases because she is intrigued by criminal psychology. Tamara loves learning languages and researching the customs and cultures that are an integral part of each language. She enjoys listening to music, especially Spanish music. Monica Silva will be attending UMass Amherst to study linguistics. She plans to pursue a career as a speech therapist or a translator. Monica has a passion for language and will continue to pursue her interests by learning American Sign Language, other sign languages, and Arabic. She also is enthusiastic about anything related to aviation. Monica enjoys music and would love to expand her music taste by exploring new genres. It is my privilege to present the medallion to these 2 accomplished students. And I have a letter from the New York State Bilingual. So on behalf of Alyssa Alvarez, the Associate Commissioner of the Office of Bilingual of Education and World Languages, it is their pleasure to present the seals of biliteracy and medallions to our two students. So, Tamara, you want to come up first? And Monica Silva. Thank you. And I really am very excited. We're going to be continuing this in the future, so we're going to have even more students receiving the seal.
Great.
Oh, sure. Sorry. Come.
We certainly are very proud of our students and their achievements, so congratulations again to both of you. I also wanted to share with the board and with the public that this summer I've had the opportunity to visit all of our summer programs, the extended school year program, the middle school enrichment program, the high school summer school, and our SCOPE Camp Invention programs as well. So it's really been a joy to see our students and enjoying academic activities. Additionally, we have a tremendous amount of summer projects with the physical plant, with improvements that have been made. So we were able to successfully relocate our PPS, Health and Athletic, and Registration, which is now changing to a Welcome Center. We're relocated from 20 School Street, and they are now housed in 700 Osborne, which is the previous district office, so that has been complete. The IT department has been located to Pulaski Street as well, and we thank our IT department for working with us with this move. The alternative high school classrooms in the South Portables, there's been a lot of work done to refurbish them to make it a much more enjoyable experience for our students who will be attending the alternative high school. In the back of the high school, there's also been work done in the parking lot area with the guard booth that has been in the process of being installed, and they're working to be able to place the stone monument high school, Riverhead High School sign that has been unfortunately sitting on the sideline for a while, so we are looking to be able to have that placed in the rear parking lot as well. There's been work done also at Aquabog with landscaping improvements in the sidewalks that were replaced to become ADA compliant. And the 8 new classrooms in the old PPS building are in the process of being refurbished as well. And then when they are complete, they will have the new BenQ boards installed, as well as having all of the desks so that we are able to have those 8 additional spaces for our students in the fall. So we're very excited about that. And the bathrooms at the high school, Pulaski, Phillips, and Riley are approximately 75% completed. And as we've been going through steps of the way, I've been sharing photos of that with the board. So we are very, very pleased with the summer work that has been going on. And then I did just want to share as well that we have invested in production equipment to improve the audio and visual quality for the Board of Education live stream for the residents of the community. And we plan to have the system in place approximately by September 13th. As we all know that with supply chain issues, things have been taking a little bit longer than we would like, but we certainly look forward to having that as well. I do want to take a moment and thank our Buildings and Grounds team for all of the work that they have been doing this summer. And I would like to thank Mr. Hines and his team as well for all that they've been doing.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. Moving on to consent agenda. Get a motion to approve consent agenda. Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Second. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Excuse me.
Okay, I would like to thank the Board of Education for approving Dr. O'Hara as our new assistant principal at the middle school. So we do welcome you to the Blue Waves family, and we are very excited for you to work with Dr. Pascara as well as Mr. Court as well at the middle school. So congratulations.
Yes, welcome to the family. Okay. Seeing we have no old business, yes. Moving on to new business. Item A, approval of annual employment contracts for 2022-2023. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Can maybe just explain to the community the title, why it's contract technician, and clarify that?
Absolutely, Ms. Healy. So due to the civil service classification, we were able to secure Ms. Mancuso, but she has to, according to civil service, come in as the contracts technician, and then she will be appointed as the assistant purchasing agent who will be able to handle all the purchasing requests for the district and for the business office under Dr. Asay.
Thank you.
All in favor? Motion passes. Item B, approval appointment. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion passes. Item C, approval of board member on audit committee. That would be Mr. Palmer will now be in the audit committee. Thank you very much for stepping up.
Whether you liked it or not.
Can I get Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Walls. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns?
No, but
All in
welcome to
favor?
the committee.
Motion passes. Item D, approval of professional development contracts. Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Well, I'm not going to be voting for it just because I find, well, we know that through ed reports and other reports that Fontes and Pinnell doesn't meet the standards, so I don't want to be giving any more money towards that entity.
Anyone else? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, approval of contracts. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing that there is none, all in favor? Motion passes. Excuse me. Item F, approval of renewal of contracts. Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you. Motion passes. Item G, approval of part-time senior administrative assistant. Sorry. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Questions, comments, or concerns? Well, actually, I will be abstaining from this. This woman is my mother-in-law, so just for full disclosure, there is no conflict, but I feel I'm going to abstain. So, okay, all in favor? And one abstention. Motion carries. Thank you. Item H, approval of driver education contract. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion passes. Item I, approval of adoption of textbooks. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mrs. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay. Now we're on to item J. I'd like to make a motion on item J that we table, sorry, hold on. Let me do this right now. I'd like to make a motion, I would like to make a motion that we table this reading. I would like this policy to go back to the committee due to board members' concerns on how best to implement the policy.
Which policy are we talking about?
This is am I on the right one? I hope I'm on the right one.
There's two of them.
This is the,
Teaching about controversial
that was
issues
the
and
controversial
conflict of
one that
interest.
we had two board members.
But I just said, I see there's two of them on here, so I just wanted to.
It would be the teaching about controversial issues. So I have a motion to table.
I motioned the table.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns?
So this is going to go back to policy?
It's going to go back to the policy committee, and
Okay.
they're going to go over it with time, over the fine-tooth comb.
No, if you can comment.
No, if it's going back to
It's going to go back to you, yeah. Okay.
Right.
All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Sorry. Do we have to pull it?
You guys.
Would the board like to make a motion to approve, then we can do this, the 9120.1 conflict of interest policy? Can I get a motion to
Motion.
approve that policy? Thank you, Ms. Hill. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, item K, approval of field trip. The NJRTC will be visiting the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis in October.
Right.
Awesome. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you. Motion passes. Item L, approval of student support contract. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Yes, I have a concern because it's a large amount of money, and the research that I've done, and that it's over 5,300 students that are going to be signed up for this digital toolkit, which it's really just being piloted. There's no information. It hasn't been field tested before, from what I could see. So I think that I don't think, especially after COVID, and we know that most of these kids do not do well with online learning, and it's everything that I'm reading in this contract is going to be asynchronous, and it's another platform, and again, not field tested, and I don't think that's where we should be putting our children, is in front of another software platform for that amount of money. I don't know if all of our students need to be on this. It's like a startup. Like I said, I don't see any qualitative data on it. I'm hesitant in the future to be adopting a non-field tested product with limited research, especially on the efficacy of this personalized learning system. So. And there's also in the contract, it talks about that we have to provide and ensure that all those students enrolled, you're talking about 5,300 students, that every single one has a laptop, desktop computer with audio, video, camera capabilities, broadband, internet connectivity, and earphones, headsets with microphones. It talks about homework help between the hours of 8 and 8 p.m., but again, that is not live tutor help, and there's already free homework help that's available in other capacities. So, is there a problem, Ms. Downs? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing there's no other comments, questions, all in favor? Opposed? All right, motion fails. Well, it actually doesn't. It fails either, right? It fails. Motion fails.
No, it didn't.
No. It didn't pass.
It failed.
Four to pass.
Right.
It failed.
No, you voted no.
It's 3-2.
Yes.
Failed.
Opportunity for board members. Do we have any committee reports? Seeing we have none. Now we move on to board member remarks. Anybody?
Yes, because I see that, like in this item, how we're spending grant money, and so maybe here we are, year one, into the federal grant money that we maybe reassess, take a look, get an accounting, and then see where we want to go forward over the next 2 years. Within the federal grant, it even talks about constant looking to the constituent, the parents, the students, to see what their needs are, so we can assess how we can, best use the grant money going forward. I do know that there's everything that I've been reading up on how we can use it. There's anything in IDA, anything to deal with air conditioning, HVAC, ventilation. I mean, all of our buildings, even the cybersecurity attack can be that money. So whatever we can do to use it on a non-recurring course. But I also don't have an issue that over the next 2 years we have to get some more support staff in the classroom, and they recognize that it just might be a 2-year, but whatever we can do where it's more direct, explicit, when I say personalized instruction, meaning they're there with a live teacher. I know in the put forth here was that we were going to provide tutoring, extracurricular activities, and was going to be with a teacher. So I think that's how, I would like to be able to use the money so that the children are getting that personalized support.
So, Ms. Healy, Cabinet has been discussing that exactly, the points that you shared this evening. Dr. Say and I have spoken about re-looking at what the original allocations were so that we can see how we could best meet the needs of our students. Additionally, we did meet with Ms. Mazzaferro as well to take a look at how we could provide additional supports for our special education students as well. And with the audit committee does meet at the audit committee meeting with the auditors, we are going to be discussing that as well. And I look forward to any suggestions or input that the board would like to have regarding the spending of the ESSER funds.
Okay, thank you.
I would just like to say that I'm hoping that everyone's having a great summer. I know there's a lot of work going on within the district, within the district office. I know you guys are running around from building to building and checking things out and stuff. I know there's a lot of meetings going on. And I also would like to congratulate Dr. O'Hara on her new appointment, and I wish her all the luck.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, move on to opportunity for RCFA.
So in the absence of the district clerk, I was asked to read a statement that the RCFA forwarded for their portion tonight. Gregory Wallace states, "Good evening. As we prepare for the school year, it is hard to ignore the heat wave we have been experiencing this past week. It's also hard not to notice that summer heat starts earlier and lasts longer than it did 20 or 30 years ago. We as a district need to start having a conversation about classroom temperatures and the impact extreme heat has on the learning environment for children, especially now that all classroom doors are required to be closed for an active shooter deterrent. The classrooms of greatest concern are the east-facing second-floor rooms at the high school, the middle school, Pulaski, as well as the gymnasiums in the district. Thank you for your time. Gregory Wallace, RCFA President."
Now moving on to opportunity for Ra.
Also asked to read on behalf of RA for their portion tonight from David Enos. Okay. Hi, our RA Executive Board wishes everyone a happy, healthy summer. There is not a RA report for this BOE meeting. However, there will be in the future. Best TPD.
So he was referring to Mr. Payton and Mr. Enos, who are the president and vice president of RA. Mr. Connolly, if I could just respond to Mr. Wallace's item. So we actually have been meeting, Mr. Galina, Dr. Asay, and I, and we actually met with Mr. O'Hara as well to take a look at some of the options in being able to air condition more of our rooms, because we certainly want to have students and staff being in a comfortable environment so that we could optimize learning. And certainly to share with what Ms. Healy was mentioning earlier, that we are in conversations to see how we could use those funds to be able to handle the air conditioning needs. So right now they are doing a assessment to see what is the best pathway forward to be able to optimize the cooling space, but also keeping in mind the electrical costs as well. So that's where we're in the process right now.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'd like to open up the floor for opportunity for public comments. Do we have any? Seeing that we don't have any, can I get a motion for adjournment?
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.